Hey my friends, I just wanted to take a moment here just to share just my heart with you. First of all, I want you to know that I love you, we love you. I know that so many of you are going through so many different kinds of things. Some are very big, some are small. And a lot of it has to do with change and also understanding how to live in the world that we're in right now, especially with the rising numbers of the virus. And so I just wanted to come and talk with you just for a moment about the idea of shelter. How many of you remember the blanket that Linus, the famous Peanuts character, used to carry around? Anytime he had the blanket with him, do you remember it was blue? And he always carried it with him. No matter where he was, he always felt like he was protected, like he was cared for, like he could handle anything. And I think right now, so many of us are looking for a shelter, looking for a place where we can just relax and let go. We can rest and also run through life and just be able to live and enjoy life the way that our hearts desire to. And so I just wanted to remind you for a moment of the words of Psalm 91. The psalmist says, the one who dwells in the shelter of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I really like the way that Eugene Peterson's The Message just kind of unpacks this passage even more. So here, just take a look at these words as they come up on your screen. I just want you to hear those words for a minute this day. The one who dwells in the shelter of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. Folks, I just wanted to remind you this moment that God is not only with you, God is not only for you, but God is a shelter for you, a place where you can always go. In fact, we're given two phrases here that I just want to hit on. The first is the word dwell, or this idea of the one who dwells with the Most High. You see, dwell doesn't mean just visit, just come for a moment, just pop in and pop out. No, it's the great invitation to come and just be still before God, to come and lay our burdens right at God's feet. Our concerns about school and work, about relationships and the virus and the rising numbers and this idea of staying in place. Wouldn't it be amazing that even as we feel restricted, if we could just draw in and not allow that to sort of imprison us, but instead allow our hearts to be drawn to God and allow God to give us fresh breath and fresh air, really, right where we are, even in the restrictions of life with mask wearing and all that has to happen right now. And really, it has to happen because of love. It has to happen because we love each other. So even though it's not easy, even though it's not what we would hope for, and yes, we do trust that a better day is coming right now, we know that even as we're going through this, that God says, I'll be the shelter for you, no matter where you are. If you're a frontline worker, if you're someone who's dealing with doing school at home or doing it at school and it's totally different, or if you're someone who has to stay home and adjust to life, just realize that God says, I'll be the one to protect you. I'll be the one to make it warm even in the cold times, even when there's doubt and maybe there's drought. You know, sometimes there can be doubt and drought, meaning we don't have the resources we want or need, or we don't get to see the people we always want to see or need to see. It's just more difficult in life, right? And I'm not telling you anything you don't know, so I don't want to dwell there. Where I want to dwell is in God's presence. Where I want to be is saying to God, you give me the strength and the light for my life right in this moment. In fact, in Psalm 18 it says this, that God is the one who lights my lamp. Did you know it's in the most dark times that we need a lamp, right? And that God is the one who lights my lamp. God is the one who gives me just enough strength and direction and peace for the next step that I have. And I want to take you back there and say that God invites us to dwell, to stay right with Him, to allow us to just be in God's presence. And then it says this, when you dwell in the shelter of the Most High, you abide in the presence of the Almighty. Just think about that. God has power to handle what our hands can't hold, what our mouths can't say, what our feet can't do, and the things that we can't change. God says, I'm almighty. I have the power to care for you like a sparrow right where you are. I have the power, yes, the almighty power, to be a shelter for you, to give you everything that you need in the moment. Folks, just remember that. I'm excited to see you this coming Sunday. I'm excited to continue to worship with you. We continue to monitor all the things that are happening, so it'll be a safe place for you, and we'll just keep you posted on all that's happening. But I just wanted to take a moment to say this. God is your shelter. God is your strength. Just let the joy of God, and that God says, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and I'm for you. Let that carry you through the next decision you have to make, the next moment you have to wait, the next hour of your day. Yes, God is a shelter where you can rest. The Bible tells us that God says, my banner over you is a banner of love. So I'll take you back to Linus. Remember, he had the blue blanket. He would hold it wherever he was and he felt safe. God says, I'm going to wrap you in my banner of love. A banner is a flag that goes before you as you go into battle. It also surrounds you as you're in the midst of the battle. And God says, my banner is a banner of love. So I want you to remember that God is holding you and upholding you and will sustain you. Yes, God is not only your shelter, but God is the one who is your banner of love. God be with you. God is with you. Thanks be to God that we are always invited to rest in the shelter of the Most High.